There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen. A war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No, you stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons, you rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen. A war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No, you stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons, you rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. What you see around you, the struggles, the obstacles, the hardships, are only symptoms of a greater war. The enemy wants you to believe that your problems are external, that you must fight people, situations, and circumstances. But the true fight is within. It is the battle for your faith, your peace, your joy. And when you recognize this, you stop wasting your energy swinging at shadows and start standing firm in unshakable truth. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It gains its strength not from power, but from deception. It cannot touch you unless you allow it, unless you believe the whispers that say you are weak, unworthy, or alone. The moment you refuse to accept those lies, the darkness loses its grip. Fear is a prison, but only if you hold the key and lock yourself inside. When you let go of fear, the walls crumble. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. There is no need to engage in a struggle against something that has already been defeated. The greatest warriors are not those who swing their swords in every direction, but those who remain unmoved in the face of the storm. Your strength is in your stillness, your confidence in truth. When you refuse to be shaken, the enemy has no power over you. Light doesn't struggle with darkness, it simply shines. A single candle in a pitch-black room doesn't fight the darkness, it overcomes it effortlessly. This is the power you hold. You do not need to battle, to push, to strive. You simply need to be who you are meant to be. Strong, unwavering, filled with the light of truth. And in doing so, every dark force around you will flee, not because you fought it, but because you refuse to let it in. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. The moment you declare truth, the chains of deception break. Lies cannot survive in the presence of truth, just as darkness cannot survive in the presence of light. Speak words of power, words of faith, words that affirm your strength and purpose. Do not entertain doubt. Do not give a voice to fear. When you stand in truth, no force can bring you down. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many try to overcome challenges by force, by fighting harder, by pushing themselves to exhaustion. But real victory comes through faith, through the deep, unshakable belief that you are already victorious. Faith does not require evidence. It does not need proof. It simply knows. And when you walk in faith, mountains move, obstacles vanish, and no enemy can stand against you. Resistance isn't about struggle, it's about refusal to give in. The enemy wants you to engage, to exhaust yourself in battle, to keep you distracted from your purpose. But the greatest form of resistance is simply refusing to be affected. Refuse to be discouraged, refuse to be afraid, refuse to believe anything less than the truth. In that refusal, you win the battle. without even lifting a finger. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. The world may throw challenges at you, but nothing external can defeat a heart that is steadfast. True power comes from within, from an unshakable spirit that refuses to be broken. No matter what happens around you, no matter what forces rise against you, the strength within will always be greater than anything outside. The power within you is greater than any evil. You have been given authority over every force that seeks to bring you down. You do not need to plead, to beg, to fight for victory. It is already yours. Walk in that power, stand in that authority, speak with confidence when you truly understand what is inside of you. No enemy, no darkness, no challenge can ever defeat you. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen, a war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No, you stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons. You rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. The struggles you see in life, pain, betrayal, loss, are not the true fight. They are distractions, illusions meant to keep you looking in the wrong direction. The enemy doesn't come in the form of what you can see, but in what you allow to take root in your mind. The real war happens in your thoughts, in your beliefs, in what you choose to accept as truth. The moment you recognize this, you take back your power. You no longer fight against people or situations, but instead take control of the one thing the enemy fears most, your mind. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It cannot exist where faith and confidence stand. It grows in hesitation, in second guessing, in questioning whether you are strong enough, good enough, worthy enough. The only power it has is the power you give it. The moment you refuse to entertain doubt, the enemy is stripped of its influence. Fear only holds you if you believe in it. The second you reject it, it loses all control over you. The darkness does not overpower. It deceives, it tricks, it waits for you to surrender. But you have the power to refuse. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. The greatest mistake people make is thinking they must struggle against evil as if victory comes from effort alone. But battles are not won by exhaustion. They are won by authority. A lion does not chase after mice, nor does a mountain tremble at the wind. When you stand firm, when you refuse to move, the battle is already won. The enemy cannot shake what refuses to fall. It is not your fight, it is your victory. Light doesn't struggle with darkness, it simply shines. Darkness is nothing but the absence of light. The moment light appears, darkness disappears. You don't have to force it away. You don't have to fight it off. You just need to let your light shine. Your confidence, your faith, your unshakable spirit, these are the light that push away every shadow. You don't need to battle, you need to be. Be strong, be bold, be unafraid, and watch how every ounce of darkness vanishes in your presence. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. A lie can only live in silence, in secrecy, in doubt. But the moment truth is declared, the lie is exposed and loses its power. This is why the enemy works, to keep you quiet, to make you afraid of speaking your strength, your purpose, your authority. But when you declare truth, you destroy deception. Lies cannot survive where truth is spoken with boldness. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many believe they must fight harder, push more, struggle longer. But force is not what brings victory, faith does. Faith knows the outcome before it happens. Faith stands when everything else falls. Faith does not rely on proof or evidence. It stands on the unshakable certainty that no force of darkness can win against what is already decided. And when faith stands, no enemy can prevail. Resistance isn't about struggle. It's about refusal to give in. The enemy wants you exhausted, fighting battles you were never meant to fight. But the greatest form of resistance is not engaging at all. Do not fight a battle that is already won. Do not waste energy swinging at shadows. Simply refuse to surrender. Refuse to believe the lies. Refuse to be moved by fear. Refuse to accept anything less than what is yours. In that refusal, the enemy is defeated. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. No weapon formed against you can prosper because true power comes from within. The world may try to shake you, but nothing external can defeat a heart that refuses to break. The enemy's greatest weapon is distraction, convincing you that outside forces determine your future. But the truth is, nothing outside of you has power unless you give it permission. Stand strong, and nothing can break you. The power within you is greater than any evil. You are not weak. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You carry within you a force that no darkness can withstand. You do not need to beg for strength that is already yours. You do not need to ask for victory. It has already been given. Walk in that truth. Believe in that authority. And watch as every obstacle, every enemy, every force that tries against you crumbles without you ever lifting a finger. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen, a war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No, you stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons. You rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. You may feel surrounded by troubles, opposition, and challenges, but what you see is only the surface. The real war happens in unseen places, in the depths of your mind and heart. It is not a battle of hands, but of thoughts, not of weapons, but of beliefs. The moment you understand this, you stop fighting people, situations, and circumstances. You stop exhausting yourself trying to fix things externally when the true victory lies within. The battlefield is not out there. It is inside you. And when you win within, you win everywhere. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It cannot overpower you. It can only convince you that you are weak. It whispers uncertainty, plants hesitation, and waits for you to believe its lies. But fear is powerless unless you accept it. Doubt has no grip unless you hold on to it. The moment you stop feeding fear, it starves. The moment you reject doubt, it dies. Darkness needs permission to stay, and when you refuse to give it space in your mind, it has no choice but to leave. It does not have the strength to stand in the presence of unshakable faith. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. Many believe that strength comes from struggle, that victory is won through constant battle, but the truth is battles are won by those who refuse to be moved. The enemy's goal is not to defeat you with power, but to make you exhaust yourself fighting. When you realize that you don't need to engage, that standing firm is enough, you take away its only strategy. The enemy cannot shake what refuses to move. You do not need to fight. You need only to remain unshaken. And that is where true victory lies. Light doesn't struggle with darkness, it simply shines. Darkness is not a force, it is only the absence of light. The moment light appears, darkness disappears without a fight. This is the power you hold. You do not need to battle darkness. You only need to be who you were meant to be. When you walk in confidence, When you stand in truth, when you move without fear, darkness has no place near you. It flees not because you pushed it away, but because it cannot exist where light stands. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. The enemy survives in deception. It builds strongholds in silence, feeding on unchallenged lies. But the moment you declare truth, the illusion shatters. Lies cannot survive when confronted by what is real. Speak truth over your life, over your mind, over your future. Do not entertain words of doubt, fear, or failure. Let every word you say be filled with power, and watch how quickly the enemy's grip weakens. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many believe that fighting harder is the answer, that pushing through with sheer willpower is the way to win. But true power does not come from struggle. It comes from certainty. Faith does not waver, does not shake, does not question. Faith does not need to see results to believe the victory is already won. When you operate in faith, you move with authority and nothing can stand in your way. Resistance isn't about struggle, it's about refusal to give in. The enemy wants you to engage, to waste energy, to tire yourself out, swinging at shadows. But resistance does not mean struggle. It means standing your ground. It means refusing to listen to fear, refusing to accept defeat, refusing to believe anything less than what is true. The greatest power you have is the ability to say no. No to doubt. No to fear. No to anything that tries to steal your peace. The enemy cannot force its way in. It can only deceive you into opening the door. Keep the door shut, and you remain untouchable. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. No weapon, no opposition, no force can break a person who is strong from within. Strength does not come from what you hold in your hands, but from what is unshakable in your heart. The world may bring storms, but storms cannot sink a ship that has no leaks. When you are solid inside, nothing outside can move you. Build yourself from within, and no external attack will ever be enough to bring you down. The power within you is greater than any evil. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to bow to darkness. You carry a force inside of you that is greater than anything that could ever come against you. You do not need to ask for strength. It is already in you. You do not need to seek victory. It is already yours. When you finally recognize what is inside of you, when you truly believe in the power that has always been there, you will walk with confidence, speak with authority, and stand so firm that no force in existence will ever be able to shake you. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen. A war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No. You stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons, you rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. The struggles you face may appear as financial hardship, broken relationships, or internal battles with doubt, but these are only the symptoms of a greater war. The enemy does not attack where you are weak. It attacks where you are destined to be strong. It works in deception, making you believe that you are powerless, that you are alone, that your struggles are greater than your ability to overcome them. But when you recognize that the true fight is not in what you see, but in what you believe, you take back control. The moment you understand that victory begins within, you stop trying to fix the external and start strengthening what truly matters, the unshakable power inside you. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It does not win by force. It wins by convincing you to surrender. It does not overpower you. It waits for you to lower your guard. The whispers of defeat are not truths. They are illusions meant to keep you from stepping into your true strength. Fear only controls those who allow it to stay. Doubt only weakens those who choose to listen to it. But when you reject fear, when you silence doubt, you strip the enemy of its only weapon. The moment you stop feeding the lies, they starve. The second you choose faith over fear, darkness loses its grip, and you begin to see clearly that it was never as strong as it pretended to be. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. The greatest warriors are not those who swing their swords in every direction, exhausting themselves against unseen enemies. True strength is in stillness, in confidence, in knowing that no force of darkness can move you unless you allow it. The enemy seeks to pull you into battles you were never meant to fight, to wear you down so that you forget the power you already have. But victory does not come from struggle. It comes from standing firm. The moment you refuse to be shaken, you have already won. Light doesn't struggle with darkness, it simply shines. Darkness does not fight against light, it disappears in its presence. A single candle in a vast dark room does not have to fight the shadows away. It simply exists and the darkness cannot stay. This is the power you carry. You do not need to force anything, prove anything, or battle anything. When you stand in truth, when you walk in confidence, when you refuse to let fear dictate your actions, the darkness flees on its own. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. The enemy works in deception, making you believe you are weak when you are strong, defeated when you are victorious, broken when you are whole. But the moment you declare truth, every lie begins to collapse. Lies cannot stand when confronted by what is real. When you speak words of power, when you declare your strength, when you affirm the unshakable authority that has always been within you, the enemy loses its grip. The greatest weapon against deception is truth. And the moment you use it, the battle is over. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many believe they must fight harder, push more, prove their strength through effort. But real power does not come from force. It comes from faith. Faith does not need to see results to know the outcome. Faith does not require proof to believe in victory. When you walk in faith, you move with certainty, with authority, with a confidence that cannot be shaken. And when faith stands, every enemy falls. Resistance isn't about struggle. It's about refusal to give in. The enemy wants to pull you into battle, to distract you with unnecessary fights, to wear you down so that you forget who you are. But the greatest form of resistance is to simply refuse to engage. Do not entertain fear. Do not entertain doubt. Do not give energy to the lies that try to convince you that you are anything less than powerful. When you stand firm in the truth, when you refuse to move from your place of strength, the battle is won without a fight. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. The storms of life may rage, but they cannot shake a heart that is anchored in truth. True power does not come from what you have, but from who you are. The world may throw challenges your way, but when your foundation is unshakable, nothing can break you. Your strength is not determined by what is happening around you, but by what is happening within you. When you are solid inside, no force outside can defeat you. The power within you is greater than any evil. You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are not a victim of life's challenges. You have been given a strength that no darkness can withstand, a power that no enemy can overcome. You do not need to fight for victory. It is already yours. You do not need to beg for strength. It has already been given to you. When you finally understand who you are, when you truly recognize the power within, you will walk with authority, speak with confidence, and stand so firm that no force in existence will ever be able to shake you. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen. A war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords. No! You stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons. You rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. The struggles that seem to consume your life, doubt, insecurity, failure, are not the true war. They are distractions designed to keep you focused on what is seen rather than what is real. The enemy does not come as an obvious foe. It comes in the form of whispers in your mind, thoughts that tell you that you are not enough, that you are weak, that your past defines your future. But those are lies. The moment you recognize that your greatest weapon is not your strength but your awareness, you take back your authority. No longer will you battle against circumstances, against people, against fleeting troubles. Instead, you will understand that victory is won by conquering the battlefield of your own thoughts. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It does not win by overpowering you. It wins by convincing you that you have already lost. Fear is not a force. It is a suggestion. Doubt is not a reality. It is an invitation to question yourself. The only way darkness can control you is if you allow it to stay. The moment you decide that fear has no place in your heart, that doubt has no voice in your mind, you strip the enemy of its only weapon. It has no real power, only deception. And when you see the truth, when you recognize that you have been free all along, the chains that once held you disappear like smoke. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. Many believe that victory comes through struggle, through effort, through constant battling against the forces of darkness. But true strength is not found in exhaustion. It is found in stillness. A mighty tree does not fight against the wind. It simply stands, rooted deep in the earth, unmoved by the storm. The enemy wants you to exhaust yourself, to tire yourself out, swinging at shadows. But when you refuse to move, when you remain firm in your belief, in your faith, in your unshakable truth, you become immovable. And when the enemy sees that it cannot shake you, it gives up. Light doesn't struggle with darkness, it simply shines. Darkness is not an opposing force to light. It is merely the absence of it. A single candle in a vast room filled with darkness does not have to fight for its place. The moment it is lit, the darkness is gone. This is the power you carry. You do not need to fight evil. You only need to be who you were meant to be. When you walk in confidence, when you stand in truth, when you move without fear, darkness has no choice but to flee. It cannot exist where there is light. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. Deception only has power when it is left unchallenged. The enemy builds strongholds in the silence, in the shadows, in the places where truth is not spoken. But the moment you declare what is real, the illusion collapses. The lie cannot stand in the presence of truth. Speak truth over your life. Speak truth over your circumstances. Speak truth over your future. Lies may try to creep in, but the voice of truth will always be louder. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many believe that they must push harder, try more, prove themselves through effort. But true power does not come from how much you struggle. It comes from how much you believe. Faith is unshakable. Faith does not need to see proof to know that the victory is already won. When you walk in faith, you move with authority. You do not ask for permission, you declare what is already yours. And when faith stands, no enemy can remain. Resistance isn't about struggle, it's about refusal to give in. The enemy wants to draw you into unnecessary battles, to make you waste your energy fighting things that were never a real threat to begin with. But the greatest form of resistance is simply refusing to engage. Do not give fear a place in your heart. Do not entertain doubt. Do not allow lies to take root in your mind. When you refuse to give the enemy an inch, it has no choice but to retreat. Victory does not come from fighting. It comes from standing firm in what you already know to be true. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. No weapon formed against you can prosper, because true power does not come from the outside, it comes from within. The storms of life may rage, but they cannot sink a ship that is sealed from within. Strength is not about avoiding the storm, it is about being unshaken in the middle of it. No matter what comes against you, nothing can break you if you do not allow it to. When your foundation is strong, the world can shake, but you will not fall. The power within you is greater than any evil. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to bow to darkness. The same power that spoke the universe into existence is the power that resides within you. You do not need to fight for strength. It is already yours. You do not need to chase after victory. It has already been given to you. The moment you realize this, the moment you fully embrace the truth of who you are, you will walk with confidence, speak with authority, and stand so firm that no force in existence will ever be able to shake you. There's a battle raging, not one of flesh and blood, but of the unseen. A war for your mind, your heart, your very soul. The forces of darkness whisper lies, stirring fear, doubt, and despair. But hear me now. You don't fight this battle with clenched fists or sharpened swords, no. You stand in the power that is already within you. You don't wrestle with demons, you rise above them. You don't lift a finger, yet the darkness flees. Because when light stands firm, shadows vanish. When truth is spoken, lies crumble. And when faith takes root, no force in hell can shake you. The real battle is spiritual, not physical. What you see with your eyes is only a fraction of what truly exists. The struggles you face, the opposition, the doubts, they are only reflections of a deeper war taking place in unseen realms. The enemy does not attack the body first, it attacks the mind. It plants thoughts of fear, of insecurity, of failure. It does not need to break you physically if it can convince you to surrender mentally. But the moment you recognize that the true war is within, you stop fighting on the surface. You stop trying to fix everything outside of you and instead focus on strengthening what's inside. Because when you are unshakable internally, nothing external can bring you down. Darkness thrives on fear and doubt. It cannot force its way into your life. It needs your permission. Fear is a seed that grows only when watered. Doubt is a shadow that stays only when entertained. The enemy does not have the power to defeat you. It only has the power to deceive you into thinking you are already defeated. But when you refuse to be afraid, when you refuse to accept doubt as your reality, darkness has no choice but to retreat. The only way it wins is if you agree with it. When you stop agreeing with the lies, you strip the enemy of its only weapon. You conquer demons by standing firm, not fighting. Too many people waste their strength swinging at shadows, battling things that have no real power over them. The enemy's strategy is to keep you so busy fighting unnecessary battles that you forget you've already won the war. But victory does not come from struggling. It comes from knowing who you are, knowing what you carry, knowing that you do not need to fight for freedom because you are already free. The moment you realize this, the chains that once held you break without effort. Light doesn't struggle with darkness. It simply shines. Darkness has no substance of its own. It is merely the absence of light. A room filled with darkness does not resist when you turn on a light. It simply disappears. This is the power within you. You do not need to fight to remove the darkness from your life. You simply need to shine. When you stand in truth, when you walk in confidence, when you move with the certainty of who you are, darkness has no choice but to flee. You do not need to chase it away. It cannot exist where light is present. Truth spoken destroys the enemy's lies. Lies are powerless on their own. They only survive when left unchallenged. The enemy builds strongholds in silence, whispering deception, hoping you will never speak the truth that sets you free. But the moment you declare who you are, the moment you speak words of power over your life, the illusion of defeat shatters. Lies cannot remain in the presence of truth. Speak life, speak strength, speak victory. When your words align with truth, the enemy has no place to stand. Faith is the strongest weapon, not force. Many believe that struggling harder is the way to victory, that they must prove their worth through effort. But true power does not come from striving. It comes from believing. Faith does not waver, does not question, does not require proof before it moves. When you walk in faith, you do not wait to see results. You declare them before they exist. Faith does not take steps based on what is visible. It moves in certainty, knowing that the unseen is already manifesting. And when faith takes the lead, every obstacle falls, every enemy retreats, and every mountain moves. Resistance isn't about struggle. It's about refusal to give in. The enemy does not need to defeat you. It only needs to wear you down until you surrender. It does not win by force, but by exhaustion. But true resistance is not about fighting harder. It's about standing firmer. It's about refusing to accept the lies, refusing to let fear dictate your actions, refusing to believe anything less than the truth of your strength. The moment you decide that you will not be moved, the battle is over. The enemy cannot shake what refuses to. Inner strength overcomes external attacks. The storms of life will come, but they cannot shake a person who is solid from within. True strength does not come from what is around you, but from what is inside you. It is not about avoiding trouble, but about standing firm in the middle of it. When your foundation is unshakable, no circumstance, no opposition, no force can break you. The world may shake, the winds may howl, but you will remain standing. The power within you is greater than any evil. You were never created to live in fear. You were never meant to bow to darkness. The same power that spoke the universe into existence, the same power that holds the stars in the sky, is the power that lives in you. You do not need to ask for strength. It is already yours. You do not need to fight for victory. It has already been given to you. The moment you realize this, the moment you fully embrace the truth of who you are, you will walk with confidence, speak with authority, and stand so firm that no force in existence will ever be able to shake you. You have been given a power that no force in darkness can withstand. The battles you once feared were never meant to be fought with your hands, but with your heart, your mind, and your unwavering belief in the truth. The enemy has no real power. It only has deception. Fear only exists if you allow it to stay. Doubt only weakens those who give it a voice. You do not need to struggle. You do not need to prove your strength. And you do not need to fight battles that have already been won. Stand firm in the light that is within you, and every shadow will disappear. Walk in truth, and every lie will collapse. Move in faith, and every obstacle will fall before you. You are not weak, you are not broken, and you are not defeated. You were created to stand, to shine, to overcome. No force in this world or beyond can shake the one who truly knows who they are. You have already won. Now live like it.